Hardware news. Well, those were in my bingo card for March, and we're running May, but anyway, the news. Today's video is dedicated to the memory of German expressionist painter and sculptor Georg Baselitz, active to his very last years and as arrogant as ever till the end. He had the chops, so we'll allow it.
Sort of from the future here, I just received the sad news of the death of Alex Zanardi. His attitude towards life inspired me to never give up, no matter how bad it looks, because he never did. Look up his biography on Wikipedia to see the full extent of his resilience. One of the toughest mofos on earth while alive. Rest in power, mate. Your memory will be strong forever.
Greetings Romy, you're watching WromWrom, the channel sharing the joy of sim racing and a regular news roundup, our weekly sim racing news. Lots of hardware news this week, which was expected as many companies have been hard at work during the winter to get the products finished. We're still waiting for a couple of them to get there, but that's okay. You can't release an early access version of hardware, can you?
Fanatec held their spring showcase last week, and there's a handful of announcements worth going through. The main new product is the Club Sport Formula V3, a replacement for the Formula V2.5 steering wheel. It's slightly larger at 290mm, and the big addition is a new display with what Fanatec calls intelligent telemetry mode. Basically, switchable layouts showing lap times, tire temperatures, and other data, what everybody else also has. The thumb dials now have push functionality and more resistance. The central rotary expands from its previous position to 12 positions, and there's a second funky switch where the analog stick used to be. The grips are replaceable. It's available now at €350. The second new product is the Fanatec wheel hub, priced at €100. This one is specifically for people who want to use a third-party steering wheel on Fanatec direct drive bases. It's a die-cast aluminum adapter with standard mounting patterns and QR2 quick release, but no USB pass-through, which is a bummer. Seems their engineers have not been able to solve that one. Fanatec is also working with steering wheel manufacturers to offer it as a default compatibility option on their sites, which is a smart move other companies got savvy about long before Fanatec. Then there's a free firmware update coming for Club Sport DD and DD Plus bases that bumps their torque output. The DD goes from 12 to 15 Nm and the DD Plus from 15 to 18 Nm. There are also plans to bring the full force BS to the CSL DD and Gran Turismo DD Pro bases. Finally, pricing has been confirmed for the upcoming podium pedals with two variants. Standard podium pedals at €700 with a podium pedals formula version at the same price. Pre-orders are starting soon, though no exact date was given. According to Fanatec, the pedals are not available yet as they found an issue during their quality control they have to fix first. Commendable to do so and to communicate it. Keeping with the pedals, if you are one to fiddle around with pedal curves, the Fanatec software just allows you to set up custom pedal curves. The latest update for Le Mans Ultimate version 1320 dropped on April 28th. No flashy new cars or brand new tracks though. This patch is mostly about squashing bugs and making things run smoother. The big focus here is stability. The devs spent a lot of time fixing crashes that happened during team handovers, rejoining servers, or even just with sound and texture loading, which shows the last version was pretty shaky. They also fixed a bunch of online championship issues like schedules showing the wrong rounds and scroll bars disappearing. On the gameplay side, there are some nice tweaks. The HUD now handles tire counts and weather forecasts better, and the pit limiter bug that stopped you from reaching 60 km/h is gone. They also made sure used tires don't keep heat from the previous session, which is a subtle but important change for endurance racing. Now, let's talk about the changes in cars. Almost every vehicle got some adjustments to energy, weight or setups for Barcelona. Circuit updates are minimal with fixes for Imola and Spa to make sure pit doors open correctly. Nothing flashy, but necessary. Even if Nakon is flailing, we may find out more about Endurance Motorsport Series in the Nakon Connect on May 7th. At least their press release promises news about that one. SCS will be releasing their Illinois DLC for ATS on the 14th of May. No new products from Asetek, but they have started a bundle promotion. Buy a bundle, get 10% off the whole bundle. Sadly, our affiliate 5% do not reduce the price further, but if you use it, you would still be doing us a favor. SimuCube have released a simple but useful little accessory, an adapter that lets you use your existing SimuCube 2 steering wheels on a SimuCube 3 wheelbase. It's aimed squarely at people upgrading to SC3 who aren't ready to replace their whole wheel collection yet. Installation is straightforward. You swap out the SC3's link quick release interface for the adapter and everything you need is in the box, no extra tools required. One thing worth knowing, Lightbridge wireless data and power transfer won't work with this adapter. Bluetooth data still functions normally, so your wheel buttons and controls will work fine, just no wireless power. It's €50 in the EU, $100 in the US and £60 in the UK with a 3-year warranty. Many thanks to all those who participated and organized the Drive for Dean Memorial Race yesterday. Thanks to all donations, we were able to raise £3,576 British pounds for the fight against cancer. While not reaching the enormous 4,200 of last year, it's still an impressive number. As always, everyone had a blast, the chat was lit, and the only loser here is cancer. While the sim usage numbers in April continue in a rather sideways motion, not only do the overall numbers return to the 40,000s, they are 8,000 more daily average users than last year. A couple of specific numbers are worth mentioning. Assetto Corsa Evo once again goes over 1,000 after the steep decline in March. Project Moto Racings go down once again, which we're sure the Japanese DLC fiasco did not help, and Le Mans Ultimate keeps steadily anchored in the 3,000 plus, which keeps it in the position above Assetto Corsa Competizione it's had since November of last year. In fact, the number for last month is very near to their overall peak of 3,432 daily average users. Great job by the team turning around the story of what seemed like a dead studio, and we are all better set thanks to that. Assetto Corsa Rally's early access just dropped update 0.4 and there's actually quite a bit in here worth talking about. The headlining edition are two new cars. First up is the Peugeot 306 Maxi Kit car, a front-wheel drive naturally aspirated machine from the late 90s. The developers call it a remarkable example of late 90s rally engineering, and it's a cool and underrepresented car in rally sims. Let's not forget the 306 was so fast it eventually got kit cars banned from top-tier competition. The second car is the 1993 Subaru Impreza S3 Group A, Colin McRae's car, which the notes describe as having ignited the beginning of the Impreza's rally legend. Both cars come with their own events, 12 new ones in total across two new event groups, plus a few mixed weather events sprinkled into the existing front-wheel drive, rear-wheel drive and all-wheel drive categories. Speaking of weather, snow has been added to the Alsace and Wales stages. There's improved ground transition between dry and snowy surfaces, better particle effects on asphalt and some actual physics changes to go with it. On that note, the tire model has been revised across the board for wet and snowy conditions, making the grip loss feel more immediate and in theory more realistic. The pre-release announcement talked about snow tires which seem to not have made it through QA. On the physics side, the Peugeot 306 includes a brake bias system using a pressure limiter valve rather than the usual balance car, a small but interesting detail that apparently reflects how the real car worked. Wheel support has been expanded, with Fanatec Full Force and Logitech True Force now properly integrated. The notes also mention improved compatibility for generic devices, which is a generic way of saying more wheels and pedal sets should actually work now. Audio has seen meaningful work too. Both new cars have engine and exhaust sounds, the Skoda gets after fire and a turbo, and several specialization issues in replays have been addressed. The team also notes, charmingly, that their audio designer personally owns an Impreza and isn't satisfied with the sound yet, so expect that one to keep improving. There are a bunch of pace note fixes for Monte Carlo and Wales, sub-UI improvements including an apply button in video settings, and a raft of online and leaderboard fixes, mostly under the hood stuff. Pun intended. Visually, environments across Monte Carlo, Alsace and Wales have been cleaned up with better event dressing, new parked vehicles and fixes for floating vegetation, a classic open world bug that somehow finds its way into every game. One thing the release notes leave aside, but that is in the pre-release notes, is that the studio behind AC Rally started an official collaboration with John Armstrong, WRC rally driver at M-Sport, who seemingly has experience in sim racing, game development and top-level rally competition. And saving the biggest news for last, the FIA has chosen Assetto Corsa Rally as the exclusive platform for a brand new international esports competition called the FIA Esports Global Rally Tour. This is a proper multi-stage global championship, not just a promotional tie-in. Online qualifiers kick off on May 12, selecting 56 drivers from 6 regions worldwide. Those regional phases then feed into shootouts, the first being in Macau on June 23rd, followed by Frankfurt in October as part of the Sim Racing Expo. The 16 best drivers from all of those will then meet at the FIA Awards Week in Shanghai in December, with a grand final taking place on December 12th during the FIA Awards ceremony itself. 2 drivers side by side on stage. That's a serious vote of confidence for a sim that's still in early access, or 505 Games dropped enough moolah on the FIA to do this. Who knows? The FIA is at least as much as a coin-operated organization, see what I did there, as the FIFA, so... For more about sim racing, be sure to subscribe to our channel and like this video if you want to see more like it.